to make a cultured cheese using macadamia nuts, and you can also use cashews, sunflower seeds, and today we get to use macadamia nuts. High in good fats and really creamy and tasty. Lots of good flavors that can go with macadamias. I took 2 cups of macadamia nuts, soak them, strain them, into the Vitamix they go. 2 cups of water, and I'm only going to put in part of the water, again because I want to let the Vitamix work in the lower part of its container. Here we go. See how it's having trouble moving? Doesn't quite have enough water. I might have also started it at too high of a speed. It's good to get it started on a low speed so that it'll keep moving. And all that noise we were hearing was just that it's not moving. But to me, it looks like it's got plenty of water. So I think it's that I had it at too high of a speed. So let's try again. And I should put the lid on. I don't always, and I've had a few cheese in the face because of it. So don't recommend it. Takes quite a while to get it to be really creamy. And the reason I'm not adding the water is, do we want a cheese that's more like a cream cheese, or do we actually want a cheese that we can mold? Molded cheeses are really a great presentation. You can actually cut slices. It's really beautiful. So our one restriction is the equipment. What will keep the Cuisinart moving? So I'm going to, instead of adding the last half a cup, I'm going to start using the spatula, turning on and off, or maybe even leaving it on to keep it moving. And while we're at this stop point, I'm going to add a little bit of salt. Always like salt in the cheese. And we're still not going to add the probiotic. We'll still come back to that. See how it stopped moving? So I'm really trying to feed in the blade rather than add water, because I'd really like a cheese that's a little bit thicker that could set up. And one thing that's fun is the cheese will be ready after it cultures overnight. But have you seen cheeses that actually cure for 30, 60, 90 days? That they take them out of the mold and then they package them and they keep them in a cool room, and then you can really slice them, and how fun those are. That's what I'm trying to make by not adding so much water. Let's see what we think. So again, the finger test. So how smooth is it? No grains, so it feels pretty smooth to me. Looks a little cottage cheesy though. So I'm right on the verge of, do I keep blending or am I good? So let's assume that I'm good. And let me tell you about the probiotic. So I make cheese and sell it wholesale in stores in Northern California. And when I was developing my product line, I went and tested every commercial, every wholesale probiotic powder that I could find. The 3 that I am most happy with, that I got the broad spectrum probiotic that I was looking for, the shelf life, and of course the flavor that I was looking for. So I love Health Force nutritional products. Gut Pro, really great probiotic, and I take this personally. And then Immuprobe. This is the one that I'm actually going to use today. It has a really nice flavor. And for me, I also need a long shelf life. So why wouldn't I just use this as a spread right now? I can. It's delicious. It stays fresh. But it'll only last 5-7 days. So let's say I make a big batch like this, and it's too rich for me to eat. So I want to actually be able to keep it longer, right? Let's add something that's going to extend the shelf life. A probiotic will eat the bad bacteria, will eat the sugars that are in the macadamia nuts, and prolong the shelf life. Could be 30 days, could be 60 days. At least in our refrigerator, getting 30 more days on a cheese, and nut cheese, is really a great thing. So what is so amazing to me when I started doing the research is how little of the probiotic one uses. So I may take this as a supplement, but if I added all this to the cheese, this would way over culture. So let me show you what we do. Take a capsule, right? And all I'm going to do is like a dusting. It's like a big pinch. And in particular, see how that's just, I'm just pushing a little bit out. Maybe you can see, maybe you can't. And that's all I'm going to do. And I call it a pinch or a dusting. It's pretty fun. If you over culture it, it's still good. It's just that when you do it right, it sets up thicker. And if you over culture it, like it's hotter out and the prime temperature you want is 68 to 74, at least that's what I've found. When my kitchen this summer got up to be 84, 86 degrees, cultured too quickly, and it becomes more liquid, more like a kefir than setting it up as a cheese that's either a spread or in a mold, something that you can cut. So the cheese is still good, it's just you're trying to get the consistency of a thicker, harder cheese. So that's kind of interesting how little of the probiotic is used for making two cups of macadamia nut cheese. Let's give her one more spin. And it is helping that I'm using the spatula to move it. So I am keeping the lid off because I know it's not going to pop. But just be really careful if you want to try that. I call it done. How fun. So let's put it, let's show you what it looks like. It's thick, but it's not cultured yet. It's just ready to be cultured. It's got the probiotic in, the great macadamia nuts, salt. Pretty simple recipe, right? Don't have to flavor it. We'll talk about what goes good with macadamia nuts in a little bit. Okay, so that's the cheese, and it's a little thicker because I didn't add the full 2 cups of water in the recipe. Voila, the cheese that I made yesterday that's still in my commercial kitchen kind of ware. Can you see how thick it is? There's a little swipe of a finger in there. Maybe I should use a spoon. So, wow, look at how thick that is. So when it cultures just perfectly, it does get this kind of air entrained, and we call it even gets sticky. So a blessing, it's just perfect. And let's go ahead and put it in a serving dish. A lot of times I do mix it because people don't quite understand what that fluff is. So I would, and we do, because we make our cheese into different flavors, which we do it all by hand. And yeah, so let's just put that in a bowl for serving. And that's pretty exciting. See how simple that was? What's so great about macadamia cheese is the things that macadamia nuts go with. Everything has its own kind of companion foods. And for macadamia cheese, what goes great are figs, oregano. Go figure, oregano goes really well. And then some kind of a green, more like a watercress. These are dandelion leaves. The flavors can all come together because the macadamia is pretty smooth, pretty rich, and adding flavors that complement it are really exciting. See how easy it is to make cultured cheese? You can make it out of different nuts, seeds, but it's the same process. So have fun, and I hope it works out for you. Thanks.